primary ignition.
Welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and thank you so much for watching one of my pre-release guides for Star Wars Unlimited's newest set, Legends of the Force. Now, in this guide, we're going to be focusing on the leader and their unique ability and commons and uncommons found within the set that work well with this leader. Yes, there's probably a rare or legendary or two that also pair well with your leader, but because you're limited on the amount of packs that you're opening, we're going to be focusing on the cards that you're going to have more access to within your card pool. And don't forget to enter my Guess the Showcase giveaway that we're going to be running, where you can win a custom merch bundle that includes dice, tokens, and token holders. All you have to do is guess which showcase leader I'm going to pull from the Carbonite case live on July 5th on stream. There's a link in the description below with more details on how you can sign up. Because we're likely to pull more than one type of showcase, there can be multiple winners. With that said, let's go ahead and look at this Legends of the Force leader. Let's take a look at Barriss, a cunning villain leader in the set with the action to exhaust themselves, use a Force token, this means they're going to lose it, and play an event from their hand, and it costs 1 resource less. This is a unique ability, but you still have to have a couple of things to help it trigger. You need to have a unexhausted Barriss, which means you can only do this once per turn, and you need to have a Force token already generated to take advantage of the lower cost. So it still costs you something, but with playing cards that can either give you the Force, or if you're using bases that will trigger on your Force units attacking, are going to be best for a card like Barriss. As an epic action, you can deploy her when you have 6 or more resources. This means you can do it as early as turn 5. When she's deployed, she's a ground unit that's a Force 7 that says, as an action, you can now use the Force to play an event from your hand, and it costs 1 less. So even though you can do this more than once per turn once she's deployed, you're still going to need to have other ways of triggering Force tokens, whether it's on attack abilities or some cards. Let's take a look at some cards I think that work well based on their text along with Barriss's abilities. The first one is going to be a Vigilance card called Drain Essence. It's a 2-cost event that says deal 2 damage to a unit, and then the Force is with you, which means you can create a Force token. Cards like this are going to give you better value for what you're trying to do. If you can save multiple Drain Essences, you can essentially pay 1 to deal 2 damage to a unit and continue to do that with Barriss Offie's ability. Because as long as you can use the Force, you'll lose a token, play this card, create a token, and you can keep that cycle going, which is pretty great with a common card. The next one is the Burden of Masters event, a 1-cost command event that says you put a Force unit from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck. If you do, play a unit from your hand and give 2 experience tokens to it. Now this is a solid rare, and so you may not even see it, but it gives you an idea of the kind of value you're looking for with Barriss's abilities. You pay 0 for this event, you have a Force unit in play, considering this deck or set is filled with them, and you can essentially get a higher cost unit on the board. With no real penalty here, you're essentially just paying 0 to get more experience tokens on a unit, and hopefully be able to cycle a strong card back into your hand over time. Lastly is the event Shen Flurry. This card is a 1-cost event, so we can see the cost value here is great, and it says you play a Force unit from your hand. You do have to pay its cost, and it gains Ambush for the phase. The next time it would be dealt damage for the phase, prevent 2 of that damage. So you can lower this card to cost 0 and do something you were already going to do, which was play a unit, but now your unit can attack on enter. With cards and bases that trigger more Force tokens when you attack, this card will go really well with Barriss in helping you use her ability multiple times. Let's go ahead and get more specific and go through each aspect individually. The first one's the cunning aspect. Dooku is a ground unit who is a 5/4 with Hidden, meaning he cannot be attacked if it was played this phase. Hidden is a great way of protecting some units before your opponent can take care of them or defeat them before they attack. You do need some attacks, obviously, to damage your opponent's base or to trigger certain effects, so Hidden will come in handy a lot within this set. Hidden is also a popular trait found within cunning aspect units. When played, each friendly unit with Hidden can't be attacked for this phase, so as long as they have the ability, you can keep more units in play a little bit longer. For the event, I'm going to recommend 3 Lessons. It's a 2-cost event that says play a unit from your hand, paying its cost. It gains hidden for this phase and give an experience token and a shield token to it. Again, hidden is going to be fine. It may be a unit that already has hidden, but just the fact that you're going to give it an experience token and a shield token, hopefully for one resource, is going to add a lot of value to that unit and the board presence. In Vigilance, I'm going to recommend the Night Sister Warrior. A 2-cost 2/2 unit is not going to be your best friend stat-wise within this set, just because a lot of units do have a little bit more health at a 3 or 4. However, Night Sister is a force unit, so she'll trigger different abilities for you, as well as when they're defeated, they can draw a card, and drawing a card in a limited format is very helpful. The more card advantage you have over your opponent, the more likely you're going to have the right option to deal with whatever they play. For an event, I'm going to recommend Whirlwind of Power, a 3-cost event, which looks better when you can pay 2. It says give a unit -2, -2 for this phase. If you control a force unit, give it -3, -3 instead. You're likely to have a force unit, and -3, -3 is going to ensure that unit is removed off the board or weak enough for you to defeat it without taking much of a penalty. Great card. In the aggression aspect, Purge Trooper is going to come in handy no matter which leader you're playing. It's a 3-cost 4/2 unit that says when played, deal 2 damage to a force unit. Just getting that damage on there is going to be helpful. It can hit for 4. Purge Trooper is just going to be taking advantage of this force-heavy set. Savage Opress is going to be one of the units I recommend to go with Barriss, just because Savage is a strong powerhouse for an uncommon. They're a 9/6 with Overwhelm. However, when you play them and when they're defeated, you may use the Force. I recommend just using the Force every time. So you have to lose the token, because if you don't, you're going to take 9 damage to your base. Let Savage work well for you. Let him be that bomb that your opponent has to deal with, and just trade off 2 force tokens when you need to. In the command aspect, I'm going to recommend Terrantodic, and a 5/5/5 creature here from the Star Wars Legends. While an opponent controls a force unit, this unit gains Ambush. Now, Ambush is a great ability. We've seen this from Spark of Rebellion, when you can play the unit and attack as long as your opponent has a unit in play. 5/5, I think, is solid for 5 here, but really there is a strong creature theme that you find within Command and in Cunning. There's a lot of creatures here, and Barriss can take advantage of some events found within the Command aspect. One of them is going to be Rampage. One of the buffing events that you can play. It's a 3-cost that says each friendly creature gets +2/+2 for the phase. By lowering this to a 2-cost, you can really take advantage of the multitude of creatures found within Cunning and Command aspects, and really overwhelm your opponent. There are some other cards that can help you buff up your attacks or overall attack and defense that I think are also worth looking at. In the villain aspect, Flight of the Inquisitor is a solid card within this set, and paying 1 less for it makes it even stronger. It allows you to return 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Yes, they do have to be a lightsaber upgrade, and they have to be a force unit, but within this set, you're more likely to find it, especially in Cunning. Next is In the Shadows. Give an experience token to each of up to 3 friendly units with Hidden. As we mentioned earlier, Hidden is going to be a common trait found among Cunning units. For the non-aspect, we're going to recommend Last Words, a 2-cost event that says if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give 2 experience tokens to a unit, and It's Worse, which allows you to defeat a non-leader unit. It's Worse is not the best defeat event out there, but it can get the job done, especially within a limited format. Thanks so much for watching this guide on Barriss's abilities. I wish you luck at your upcoming Legends of the Force event. And let me know how it goes for you. Which aspects did you play? Which cards worked well for you? I'm interested in hearing about that. Just put that here in the comments. Again, I wish you luck, and may the Force be with you.